Welcome to the webinar here. This is Mike Wood. We are going to talk a little bit about finding products to use with a dropship strategy and how to work with unbranded products and research those ideas. So, one of the first things that I want to show you is when you do a search, there are some details we want to look for. So first we want to see the sell-through rate of the product so that we can set our expectations. Is it something that's going to sell quickly? Is it something that's going to be out there a while? Or is it does it fall somewhere in the middle? So the easy way to look at that is just to compare the number of active items with the number of sold items. And again, we want to try and focus on items that are non-branded. This is one that I've done before that worked pretty well, and so it's I'm going to change this to so it's something that we can start with that I know has some potential. So 577 active listings. If we scroll down on the left side over here and look for the show only section, under that show only, we can go and click on sold items. And so here we're looking at items that have actually ended, they've sold, and in fact recently. So this one sold just yesterday for $20.19. Well, look at that. That is the exact same item as this here on Amazon that's available for $10.10 with free shipping if you have Amazon Prime. Now they do have other products as well that are the same. There are many sellers of the same product. Here's another one. Looking to see if this, okay, that is might be the same one actually. One might have been sponsored. And I did a general search over here on Amazon. If we change this to 666, then we'll get more specific results. There's one that's the exact same item, and even on Amazon, it's selling for $14.10 when somebody else is selling it for $10.10. There's some colored ones. Here's another one selling for $18.99, and notice they all have reviews. So it's amazing the different prices that you can sell things for, even on the same platforms. So I guess the first thing I'd say here is just don't get hung up thinking that you have to compete on price. You really don't. But again, focus on items that are not branded, because if you are dealing with a well-known brand, then of course those people who are looking for that brand are going to be much more price conscious. They know what that brand sells for. But if you're dealing with an item that's unbranded, there's a lot more freedom to it there. So there's one for $13. And I'm just trying to see if we can find a different. There's the same sale. We got the same. Yeah, it's that same company. But again, if we do have a Prime account, then that's free. So after fees, we're not quite doubling our money, but pretty darn close to it with an item like that. So the next step that you can take is go into this seller, because we know they're probably doing something like that. If they're selling this for $20, and look at that, they've sold 17 of them. So if they're selling that for $20, and we can see they've got some high feedback here, then chances are good they have other items that are doing the same thing. So we click on that to see other items for this seller and see how much they're listing. So they've got 870 items that they're selling. Forget here, did we look at, we did look at the sold, okay. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing. So now we're looking just at items from this seller. And we can go down here and do show only sold listings. So they have 800 plus that are active and they've sold 468. Now this is within the last 3 months. Okay, so they've got a 50% sell-through rate as far as volume compared to volume here. So that's really pretty good. That's a good sell-through rate. So let's look at, and so then you go down and look. We want to change this to recent first, so we're seeing things that they've sold recently. And so then you look through these items and go search for those same things out on Google or Amazon. Simple as that. And oftentimes they won't, if they're smart, they won't have a item number, but sometimes they do. There's an AAN, a UPC, a manufacturer's part number. So we can literally take that item number right there. We could search it on Amazon, or we can just search it on Google and see what we get. There's Amazon right there. Bolted nut remover set, $33.70. Compare that over here, $47. So see, they're probably drop shipping that as well. And they're probably using Amazon. Now they might have another source, and you can definitely search around on Google for other possibilities, but once you get an item number or even keywords for an item name, then you can often find a source for that product. That one's quite a bit higher. And so that's one way to do it, is just go in and look at items from sellers who are already selling things. Something I want you to notice here, back to that idea of not using a brand, a well-known brand. We don't really see brand names here, or not brand names that we would, that people would necessarily look for. Now this one maybe, Max Air, Monroe, looks like some brand names there possibly, Park Ridge. But again, these are not big, well-known brand names. These are just, brands, branded items that are out there, but not like the most popular brands. Even this stuff right here, this mirror glaze, ultra cut compound, I'll bet that is something that we could find. Look at that, Amazon. 7. They sold it for $99. Okay, and they sold that more than once recently here. I thought I saw that. Maybe I saw it on their active listings. So there's a lot of potential there. Now there's another thing I want you to look at here. This person has probably been around for quite a while. They've dialed it in. They've tested a lot of different things. They know what's working. But also notice the numbers. They've got 468 that they've sold. How many active? 870. So they're not playing around, right? They know that it takes a lot to make a lot. You've got to put a lot more effort out there before you expect to start seeing returns. So that is something that I would definitely have you think about too. If you're going to do the dropship model, do not get over anxious when you're just getting started and you've got below 100 items listed. When you get to where you've got 870 items listed, if you're not seeing consistent sales at that point, then we need to worry. Then we need to start looking into what you're doing. Even at a couple hundred, we need to evaluate a little bit more. But until you get to that point, you're just playing around. I mean, let's be honest. You're not running the business yet, right? So you've got to get it pushed up to the point where you have more listings up there, that you have a lot more happening. But this is a great way to do it, and this is just one seller. We come back over here. We can look at this set right here. We've got these double 6 domino tiles plus wooden case. This one's in a wooden case here. Different types of dominoes, different set. They've got the little button in the middle there. They sold 37 of those. Where do they get them? I don't know. We could do a search for these keywords right here and see if we can find that somewhere out on Google at a cheaper price. So $14.98 free shipping is what they're doing it for. And a lot of times when you do this search, the image search results can be a great place to find items, because both of those are the same item. And if we look at the images, that could take us to a page somewhere that has the same item for us. So, and so we can go in and click on that, and we've got Walmart over here, we've got Amazon, eBay, Home Depot, several on eBay, probably selling for different prices. So we can come in and click on one of those. And it is going to take some time, and you're not always going to find a better price. Like we're seeing with this one, there's a lot of higher prices out there. And another thing that I'll do sometimes is search the seller's name, because sometimes they have a wholesale website as well, and that might be something we can do. So if we were to search new era brand, so if we go out here and just do a search for those words, let's see if we can find a website out here. See a New Era cap company. But it looks like they are more, they might have other, so they do have other categories besides just headwear. And sometimes that's a way to find a wholesaler. And we can find out if they have a wholesale option, or see if there's anything down the bottom in their links that says wholesale or dropship or become a dealer or stuff like that. And I'm not seeing that with these guys, so they look like they're just a retailer. But the seller there, if we look at that, let's see, let's go to that seller. If we look at their other items, so again, they've got some pretty high feedback, 19,000 on their feedback score. 423 active, so that's actually not a lot. I'm kind of surprised to see that they have such few listings. Sold items, 350, so they're very high sell-through rate. So they've definitely streamlined it. And so here again, we change this to recent first, so you can see what they are recently selling. And here we have a whole bunch of ideas and products that we can sell. And personally, I stay away from the low price stuff. I mean, if you're selling something under 10 bucks, even if you've got free shipping, there just isn't much you're making on that. So I would love to focus more on these higher price items. So that's what I would suggest you do, is do a little bit of research, find several sellers that you can follow, and then realize you've got hundreds of items from each one of those sellers. Each one of these guys has hundreds of different items for you to look at and research and go out and see where you can find them at a good price and then list that type of item. Not only that, but when you find an item, like this one here at eBay, we can also go down and look at other potential items. Now, again, I wouldn't go into well-known name brand items to sell. You know, Uno is something that it's a branded item. It's a branded game. Jenga, same thing. Rummy Cub, same thing. You know. But if we're dealing with more of like the domino racks, you know, the unbranded stuff, dominoes, for example, that's a lot better approach to work with. The Domino's accessories, wooden hub, that might be a way to go. Right here we can see somebody selling it for $16.99 and somebody selling it for $11.97. And so that's something that we can now look at. Just because we scrolled down, we looked at the other options. And so if we can do a wooden hub, get back to general search here. Put the word Domino's in there. And so here we've got all of these products. A lot of these are more, they're simpler, they're flat. When you look at sold, there's a $14.23, $15.66, a couple of dollars different there. Almost a 50% sell-through rate on the item, $14.17. Look at that, same exact thing, same exact picture. $14.89, $17.10. Why did they sell it for that? Possibly just because of the title difference, the keywords that they're using. Maybe theirs came up when somebody was searching. There's a $13.99, even cheaper. And so the price is not always, even though eBay's always going to send you those messages, ignore them. If you are doing dropship, you cannot worry as much about price. If you do want to get in and find items that you can compete on with price, you've got to do some research. Know that you've got to get a lot more items out there on eBay. It's got to be in the hundreds, if not the thousands, if you want to see consistent sales. We're going to compete mainly with keywords and getting the best keywords you can possibly find in there. And they're not always, the things that we list aren't going to sell all that often. Oh, and then the brand. Stay away from branded items. And if you do that, you're going to have better chances doing this with a dropship model.